Advice that we're going to be talking about Matthew 1:23. A virgin shall be with a child and shall bring forth a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel, which being interpreted is God with us. Yeah, so basically it's talking about Jesus' birth. And God loves us. He does. He loves us. And let's see what the inspiration says. So the birth of Jesus Christ has been prophesied in the book of Isaiah. This was long before the angel came to Mary and Joseph. This is one of the many examples in the Bible that confirms God's faithfulness when it comes to fulfilling the promise he makes. The greatest promise of his Son, Jesus Christ, was fulfilled. We have all the evidence about this. How can we doubt God after being exposed to such faithfulness? Some people might say Jesus never existed. We have evidence that he did exist. We do. And some people might say, well, the Bible is so old, it's probably changed a lot over time. It hasn't really changed that much. Aside from a few words or a few books maybe being ordered differently, it hasn't changed that much. And there have been books that was in like the Dead Sea Scrolls that's not in the Bible, but that's left out. That's left out for a variety of reasons. And but if you take the books that are in the Bible and compare them to their counterparts that are in the Dead Sea Scrolls, then you'll find that they're basically the same thing except for a few word differences. In most Bibles. There are a few word differences, but the books themselves are pretty much the same thing. And it's amazing. It is. It is. I mean, we're talking about Hebrew and Greek and English and all kind of other languages, and to find out the Bible is basically the same thing, that's amazing. That in itself is an act of God. And to me that means that God himself has intervened with the creation of these Bibles and has made them more or less the same thing as all the other ones. There are bound to be a few word differences because there are a few word differences in different languages. There are. And listen, God loves you. He does. And I gotta let y'all go, guys. Bye.